Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and today I'm just being officially updating you on some more latest news. So if you do consider drop your like, and if you do consider subscribe to the channel as always. So on this current video today, I'm just going to give you some additional information in regards to Paul Pogba. Also there's quite a lot of other things to currently talk about. So recent reports have indicated now, saying that reportedly Paul Pogba's agent Mini Raiola he's basically, forcing Manchester United into selling Paul Pogba, as he demands a substantial £600,000 a week for his client, to renew his contract at Manchester United. Now, we do know that I think Man United have met up, with Paul Pogba's agent, Mini Raiola, to discuss Paul Pogba's future at the club, and also over the possibility of renewing his contract at Manchester United. Now, we do know that Paul Pogba's got 2 years left on his current contract with the club, with an option to extend by a further year, and Paul Pogba is on around 290 grand a week at the moment in his current deal, so he is still one of the highest paid players at the football club. Now, we do know for the entirety of the summer, Paul Pogba was subjected to a lot of transfer speculation. Obviously, he had a long-running transfer saga. He was relentlessly, linked to move to Real Madrid, but I did say, reflecting on the substantial amount we put on Paul Pogba for the entirety of the summer, that was a stumbling block of him, making his proposed move to Real Madrid, because we quoted out earlier on in the summer that we did want around £180 million for the player, and obviously, Real Madrid were reluctant to pay that, because Real Madrid themselves, they spent a substantial amount throughout the course of the summer. They spent around £300 million on 5 players. Obviously, they did sell some players, so they did generate some of the money back. I think they generated around £100 million of it back. But Zinedine Zidane did identify, Paul Pogba as his #1 priority target, throughout the course of the summer, and he will be infuriated, that he didn't get his #1 priority target. But more than likely, Real Madrid, will reignite their interest in Paul Pogba in January. But it's good for the time being that we have convinced Paul Pogba, to remain at the football club. I still believe Paul Pogba wants to leave. Obviously, he did say back in June, which was obviously earlier on in the summer, that he said, he's seeking for a new challenge. Pogba, did publicly admit, that he wants to leave Manchester United and that, and basically wanted to leave, to rejuvenate his career and that, because I think I already give you the couple of main factor reasons why Paul Pogba wants to leave the football club, because maybe he wants to be playing amongst better players, maybe he wants to be in Champions League football, maybe, he's frustrated there with lack of competitiveness. So these are the reasons probably why Paul Pogba, does want to leave. And I did say anywhere before, if there's any chances of Paul Pogba renewing his contract to Man United, he would demand a substantial amount, and definitely would demand, to be the highest paid player at the football club. And 600 grand a week, I think, equates to around £30 million pounds a year. But I can't see, Manchester United, giving Paul Pogba, 600 grand a week. And it wasn't only Real Madrid that were in for him throughout the course of the summer. Don't forget, there was quite a few other teams in for him. Don't forget, Juventus had inquired about getting Pogba. There was talks about him making a return back to Turin, because he did have 4 successful years in Turin with Juventus. Hasn't mainly replicated this at Manchester United as Pogba. Don't forget, Barcelona were in for him throughout the course of summer. It allegedly said a couple of weeks ago that Paul Pogba had allegedly agreed to join PSG, I think, on transfer deadline day, but he's moved to PSG and never materialised due to the Neymar saga. So quite a lot of teams were in for him, but the main architect, of course, was Real Madrid. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer knows deep down how much of an imperative player that Paul Pogba is. Reports were emerged out the other week, actually, saying that Adidas, they had a big part to play in Pogba, remaining at the football club this summer, because Adidas actually, wanted Paul Pogba to stay at Manchester United, because they believe it's better for them commercially. But Solskjaer's recently, give his more overarching view on Paul Pogba, and he actually he's actually notified Real Madrid, that, Paul Pogba is going nowhere. He basically said, he's very adamant that Paul Pogba, will not be sold in January, and obviously if we are to soften our stance on Paul Pogba in January, we would demand probably around £180 million pounds from him and that. But Paul Pogba, has still got a lot of years ahead of him. He is only 26 years of age, so quite frankly, he is still in his prime, and he's a very, very imperative player for Manchester United. We do know the difference Paul Pogba does make in that midfield, because when he's at his best, he's arguably one of the best midfielders in the world. We mainly see the best of Paul Pogba, when he's threed up and that. Obviously, like I said, he's available to play this evening against Rochdale, which is very, very good news. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has assured that he should probably get minutes under his belt. We know Paul Pogba has recently, been out with an ankle injury. Obviously, around 3 weeks ago, due to this ankle injury, he had to withdraw from the France squad. In that aspect as well, he would have been infuriated, Pogba, because we do know that he does like to represent France. Paul Pogba's brother, Matthias, he also, fueled quite a lot of speculation throughout the course of summer. He knows deep down how good, Pogba would represent Real Madrid. He actually revealed the other week that Paul Pogba had spoken to Lionel Messi from Barcelona. But like I said, Paul Pogba is now into his 4th season at Manchester United since he rejoined the club back in 2016. He's obviously won the Europa League with us and the League Cup and that. Obviously, it hasn't only been this summer, though. He's been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation. Obviously, reflecting back last summer, there was a lot of talks about Paul Pogba leaving the football club, obviously based on his poor relationship with Jose Mourinho. Obviously, actually, Paul Pogba got one of his best wishes, of course, when Jose Mourinho left the football club. But actually, at the beginning of pre-season, earlier on in the summer, it was looking very imminent then that Paul Pogba was going to be leaving, because Paul Pogba's agent Mini Raiola did say at that point that Paul Pogba is in the process of leaving the football club. So there may be a possibility chance that we could get his contract renewed. If we are to renew his contract, I think Real Madrid's alternative is probably to go in for Christian Eriksen at the end of the season and they could get him on a free transfer. Well, they will get him on a free transfer if they can, because obviously Christian Eriksen, his current contract expires with Tottenham at the end of the season. But there was in for Christian Eriksen and Real Madrid, but obviously their preference was Paul Pogba. But for me, I said it was very it's very essential that we do keep him, obviously because we didn't get a midfielder in throughout the course in the summer. So that is the latest news about Paul Pogba. Probably we can afford to give him 600 grand a week, because we're a massive club and we've got massive revenues. Obviously, as we speak now, we have got a lot of players on big contracts at the football club. But whether Man United are willing to give him it or not, I do not know. But like I did say, Man United play. It's not long now until kick-off. I think the kick-off is 8 o'clock against Rochdale. Like I did say, for this particular game this evening, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is obviously going to make a lot of alterations. Obviously he's going to go. This particular game, he's got more of an opportunity. To go more with the youth. Solskjaer, of course, will rest. Some of the regular first team stars. So I probably believe he'll rest Wan-Bissaka. He'll probably rest Harry Maguire. He'll probably rest Victor Lindelof and that. Obviously, he'll save key players for the game against Arsenal next Monday. That's what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will do. Like I said, I've given you the team news already. Pogba's back fit, which is very, very good news. Mason Greenwood, we know he didn't play against West Ham at the weekend. He didn't make the trip to London, obviously due to that he had tonsillitis. And Solskjaer recently, gave his overarching view on Mason Greenwood. And Solskjaer said, if he is to keep scoring, and obviously if he is to keep the consistency up, he has assured us Solskjaer that Mason Greenwood, will get more minutes under his belt. But he should be available, to play this evening, against Rochdale and that. And I think at this moment in time, I think Mason Greenwood is a much better solution than Marcus Rashford. We know obviously Rashford's missing the game tonight. Obviously he's got a groin problem. He came off injured in the 2-0 defeat to West Ham last weekend. I don't know how severe the injury is yet. I know it's a groin problem that Marcus Rashford's got, but like I said, a lot of people say that Marcus Rashford's overrated. Obviously he hasn't performed great this season. He has done okay in parts, but Rashford, has not performed to the same sort of extent as how, Daniel James has performed, and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire and, Martial and, Scott McTominay. Rashford's been nowhere near as good as them players. But I still reckon, Rashford is the long-term solution for Man United. And I think, when Martial does regain full fitness, I think, when he does regain full fitness, I think for the majority of this season, probably Rashford will be playing him out on the flank, because actually Martial seems to be more effective in that central position. But yeah, Mason Greenwood, in my opinion, is a much better solution at the moment. We know know this evening that obviously Martial and Luke Shaw are not playing. That's been confirmed. Hopefully Martial and Luke Shaw, can be possibly back for the game against Arsenal next week. We do know Martial's missed the last 4 games with a thigh injury. Also, too, Luke Shaw's missed the last 4 games in all competitions with a hamstring injury. And we are aware, that they are 2 imperative players in that. I think before Martial had sustained his injury, I think, he enjoyed a really, really good start to this season, Anthony Martial. I said if he can avoid sustaining any more injuries when he recovers from this one, and he can keep the consistency up, I think he can score from at least between 15 to 20 goals this season, can Anthony Martial. Martial now is into his 5th season as a Manchester United player. Obviously, he has scored 50 goals now for the club in all competitions, but he has been a big miss, even though he's primarily plays out wide on the left. Obviously, Man United confirmed at the start of the season that he actually, has been given that number 9 shirt. And with Luke Shaw, like I said, he's a very imperative player, and we do know when he's on form the difference he does make on that left-hand side. And Luke Shaw, of course, is our first choice left-back, but analysing the majority of his Man United career, I think Luke Shaw has been mainly consistent. He has had some rough patches in that. He had a bad spell under Mourinho, and, he sustained quite a few injuries. But prior to that, I think he's done really, really well. Won the double player of the season last season, reflecting on his impressive performances. But quite recently, Young has been playing on a regular basis. Obviously, he has been, fulfilling Luke Shaw's role. Ashley Young's actually been playing him in that left-back position. But yeah, I think more players, will regain full fitness. I'm hopeful anyway for the game against Arsenal. Whether Rashford will be available for Arsenal or not, I do not know. Obviously, we do know that Eric Bay is a long-term absence. He's out until the new year. Obviously, Fossil Mensah is also, a long-term absence. I think also Lee Grant is out with injury. Don't forget, not too long ago, Lingard, has just recently recovered from illness. Obviously, not too long ago, Diego Dalot recovered from a groin problem. I think he had a groin problem, did Diego Dalot. Yeah, so we have still got quite a few injuries and that in the team. But yeah, Solskjaer will go more with the youth this evening and that. So I already give you my starting 11 prediction on my previous video, but this is a game, of course, tonight. Manchester United, should win quite easily. But yeah, I think tonight Jones he'll probably play tonight. Will Phil Jones? I said in the cup games, the Europa League, and that I think the likes of Jones and Rojo, will get more opportunities, because obviously Jones and Rojo will find it very difficult to get opportunities in the Premier League, because obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first choice centre backs are Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof. Definitely, Mason Greenwood, should be playing tonight. McTominay, I think, he deserves to keep his place in the team. Reflect on his impressive performances. McTominay has done really, really well this season. In regards to him being a long-term solution for Man United, McTominay, I have got element of concerns about that. And can he keep the consistency up? That is the question. But he deserves to keep his place in the team. I think more than likely Fred, will be playing tonight. Or even if he doesn't start, he should be involved, because Fred, has been very, very impressive in the last couple of games. And that. Don't know if he's a long-term solution for Man United. I think Fred, to be honest with you, is a much better option, than the Nemanja Matic and that. Daniel James should play tonight as well. Daniel James has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career, so he should be playing this evening. Like I said, I think Chong, should be playing this evening as well. Obviously, Solskjaer said the same thing in regards to, Chong, what I said about Mason Greenwood. Obviously, Chong has been assured more first team opportunities this season. Don't forget, reports have said the other week that Chong was in negotiations with the football club over a new contract. Obviously, Chong did play in the game against FC Mestania. But yeah, Chong received loan offers this summer from PSV in his former club Fernøy, but he turned them loan offers down, and he remained loyal to the football club and that, which is very, very good. Chong, obviously, we do know that he is right winner. But yeah, so basically Solskjaer tonight, will go over a similar team, as he did do against FC Mestania in the Europa League and that. But also Romero will be in goal tonight, I should presume. Obviously, Romero has got that experience, don't forget, of participating in the cup games and obviously the Europa League and that. So Romero will be in contention to start tonight, because obviously Romero is our second choice goalkeeper. I think Angel Gomez as well, should be given the chance. Don't forget, he's another one of our midfield options. But yeah, definitely we'll make alterations in the squad. Like I've been recently, updating you though, as you all know, the vast majority of Manchester United fans, do want Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out of the football club. But I'm not one of those people, like I do keep saying. But despite our bad start to the season, despite our bad start to the season, Manchester United are still backing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Ed Woodward is still convinced that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, can turn things around with the football club and that. But we've enjoyed really bad start to the season and that. And I think so far this season is replicating what I saw last season. And what I mean in that aspect is that I haven't really seen much improvements this season. But if this bad run of form does continue to persist, then I think it does continue to persist. And I think we could enjoy a worse season this season than what we saw last season, because last season was a huge disappointment. We finished sixth. Obviously, failed to qualify for the Champions League. And I did say that was one of the main factor reasons that, went against us in the summer transfer window. Because obviously, we didn't recommend all the players in, that we did want in and that. I did say a lot of players, would have had the reservations about joining the football club. Like I did say on my recent videos, I credit Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in some aspects and that. Obviously, he's got a lot of trust with in his young upcoming players. Also, he got rid of a lot of the deadwood, throughout the course of the summer. And also did recommend 3 good players into the football club during the summer. And obviously we spent over the £140 million. I think we nearly spent £150 million on Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and on Harry Maguire. And of course we have seen glimpses of what good signs they've proven to be so far. I do believe they have settled it fantastically well. So it's good in the aspect that we did address some of the problematic areas. We got that experienced centre half in. We also got that right back in, but we didn't address all the problematic areas. But it was going to be always extremely difficult for us, to address all the problematic areas in one summer transfer. When this has only been Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first summer as Manchester United manager, don't forget. So I think we still basically need to give him more time, to make further more investment in January, maybe perhaps next summer. So I would at least give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer this season, then see obviously what materialises. When we do get a couple of more players in and that. But yeah, you can still quite frankly say Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is in the process of rebuilding, because the majority of this team, of course, is not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's. But like I did say to due to our inconsistency, I think the blame stems from everyone has to take some blame on that, but I think, like I do keep saying, the vast majority of the blame does stem from the board, because obviously the board didn't back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer enough throughout the course of the summer, as they did in this year's show. I think also some of the blame does stem from Ed Woodward, because obviously Ed Woodward's the vice chairman, he oversees our transfer business. I think also some of the blames from certain players as well. Certain players have to take a responsibility on that pitch, and I think also some of the blame does actually stem from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because obviously we are tactically inept, and some of his tactics are questionable. But I think the vast majority of the blame is from the board. I do believe a lot of Man United fans obviously demanding Solskjaer out. They're demanding obviously Ed Woodward out. Also they've been criticising the Glazers. They've been criticising the Glazers, as you all know. But yeah, I'm still backing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer all the way, because obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is our fourth manager. Fourth permanent manager, since the Alex Ferguson era, and that we're not really known for a sacking club, despite the fact that 3 managers have been already sacked, since the Alex Ferguson era, and that. But we haven't got the structure to keep sacking managers and that. And I think the board, Man United board, do need to assure structural changes at the football club. The question is, are they going to give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the tools? And that is a big question indeed. But yeah, I haven't really seen much improvements under Solskjaer, than what I saw under Jose Mourinho, Louis van Gaal, and of course David Moyes and that. But to be quite honest with you, I want Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's tenure, to become successful at Manchester United. But I have got huge doubts about it now, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. Like I did say at the start of this season, and I even said it towards the back end of last season, that I said our expectations this season, will be to finish in that top 4, because we know that our squad is nowhere near good enough to win the league or mount any kind of talent title challenge up. But, I think it's definitely, good enough for a top four finishing that. I went at the start of the season, well, actually I said at the end of last season, going into the period now this season, I didn't think, would have been as bad as we have been so far this season and that. But yeah, and but yeah, I just think, Solskjaer, does need more time and that. But yeah, I've got, element of concerns about him. But I just don't think he's got the stature, to get us in that commanding position, where we do currently want to be. But as you said anyway, our aspirations will be that top four in the next couple of seasons. But I did say, reflecting on the amount of money that's been invested into the football club in the last 6 or 7 years. Also, with a history behind this football club and that, we should be, in much more of a commanding position than we're in now. Don't forget to take into account, when we recommended Alex Ferguson in from Aberdeen back in 1984, 1985. Don't forget, Ferguson, didn't win out in his first 4 years with the football club and that. But we know that, the boards and that, were nowhere near as ruthless as they are now. But he still didn't win out in his first 4 years, and he was on the verge of getting the sack and didn't. And look what he accomplished, in the 20 odd years and that. We had 20 odd years of success under Alex Ferguson. But I just don't think, regardless of our managers, we're never going to replicate what we did under Ferguson. No one is going to ever, follow Alex Ferguson's legacy, and that's obviously, something we've got to accept. And I did say, this team at this day and age, I said I'm hopefully, it can, replicate, what the team did under Alex Ferguson and that. There actually is still some, players here, from the Alex Ferguson era. But look what's been spent at the football club. I think around nearly £900 million has been spent in the last 6 or 7 years at Manchester United in all the managerial eras. This is obviously discarding what was spent under Ferguson. And that if you do want to take into account what was spent under Alex Ferguson, then it's way over £1 billion that Man United have spent on players and that. Also, we have now got players on big contracts, don't forget. But we are aware that further more investment is needed. It was a shame that we didn't recruit a replacement for Ander Herrera and Marian Fellaini, throughout the course of the summer. I said we needed a replacement for them. Don't forget, from the majority of the summer, was in search for a right winner. I was disappointed, that we didn't recruit a replacement for Romelu Lukaku, because vast majority of people now, Man United fans especially, believe, we are lacking in that attacking line. Obviously following the dismissal of Romelu Lukaku and Alexis Sanchez and that. So for me, you can still see the deficiencies in the squad. I'm still backing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer though, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, hasn't really had a long tenure yet at the football club. All in all, he's been at the football club now nearly a year. I think he's nearly been at the football club now around 10 months or something like that. As Solskjaer, obviously, we recommended Solskjaer in December of last year. Obviously, he came in, following the dismissal of Jose Mourinho. Obviously, came in as interim manager at the first, and obviously, he was interim manager for 3 months at the football club, and Solskjaer did really, really well in that 3-month period. The results were good. He exceeded expectation levels, and he got the best out of these group of players in that. And yeah, and obviously, then he got the job permanently in March earlier on this year, and since he got the job permanently, everything has just seemed to all gone wrong, to be quite honest with you. But like I said, a lot of that, you get the vast majority of Man United fans saying now, well, actually, there was quite a lot saying it towards the back end of last season. Maybe we did give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the job too early. Maybe we should have waited till the end of last season. Maybe we even should have waited until at some point this season. That. But to be honest with you, I hope it works out for him at Man United, but I just can't, see it happening, to be quite honest with you. But I actually believe the vast majority of Manchester United fans, I think a lot of industries, like I mentioned earlier, believe if this bad run of form continues, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, will be sacked by the football club, by Christmas. Now, obviously, as I updated you this morning on one of my videos, obviously, reports were stemming out from the Italian press yesterday. It was quite recently anyway, saying that, we have reportedly made Massimiliano Allegri as our primary candidate, to replace Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of course, is to be sacked by the football club. Now, Massimiliano Allegri, Allegri, however you pronounce his name. He's obviously, the former Juventus manager, and that obviously, he recently was a Juventus manager. He actually served 5 years with Juventus, and that. Do you think he would be the right, do you think he'd be the right, manager, to replace Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the football club? Obviously, he hasn't had any experience of managing in the Premier League. Obviously, he never played in the Premier League. He actually spent the entirety of his playing career in Italy. Also has spent the entirety of his managerial career in Italy. In that, obviously, he started management in 2003. Did Massimiliano Allegri, and obviously, he's been managing around 16 years. So if Solskjaer was to be sacked, reportedly now he's the leading, he's the priority target, to come in to the football club and that. But do you think he would be the right man for Manchester United? But there was a lot of talks about that going on recently. Before he was at Juventus, he actually served 4 years with Inter Milan. Did Allegri. Also, he served a couple of years with Cagliari. I think he also had a spell with Saluzzo. He also managed a spell, and I think he managed quite a few small Italian clubs as well. But yeah, do you think he'd be the right man for Man United? Don't forget, before actually Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got recommended into Manchester United, don't forget, we was in for Mauricio Pochettino for a while. We also inquired about getting Zinedine Zidane, but I did say at the time we was in for them, I think the only way they'd have come in is if we'd assured, if we would have assured them a substantial amount to spend and that at the football club. But we just chose Solskjaer over Pochettino and Zinedine Zidane because obviously Solskjaer knows the culture of the club, and obviously Solskjaer was a cheaper solution. That's what that was our point of view on it. But like I said, Solskjaer was a great player for Manchester United, for 11 years. He flourished under Alex Ferguson's guidance. But he's got that proven pedigree in that aspect, of the player, but he hasn't really got it as a manager, and that's another element of concern. Obviously, he won a couple of Norwegian titles with Molde when he was there, and that for him, will be a good achievement, for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Also, he had a very, very short tenure with Cardiff. But yeah, I just don't think it's obviously not going to work out under him, if I'm going to be quite honest here. But for me, I think the board did actually assure at the start of the season that regardless of what happens this season, as long as we're not in relegation or mid-table, then Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job should be safe for at least this season. But the way things are going at the moment, we're not going to finish in the top four. We're definitely not going to finish even in the top six and that. So I am concerned at the moment. Obviously, our away form has been really, really bad. Don't forget. Obviously, we haven't won away from home, since the PSG game last season. Obviously, when Man United produced that miraculous comeback against PSG last season, that's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's most iconic moment as manager in that. But despite that, we've had a bad start to the season, and I still think there's certain players, that have really, really played well in that. But the vast majority of them, of course, have underperformed. Yeah, and. And like I said, a lot of players have now left, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's arrival. Like I said, around 7 players have left. I think also a couple of goalkeepers, went out on loan. Don't forget, Italy has been a popular destination for the vast majority of our players this summer that have left, obviously, because about 4 of our players went to Italy. But yeah, so we know the players that left. Valencia, of course, left at the end of last season after he served 10 years with Manchester United. Obviously, we do know that Chris Smalling went out on loan. Despite the fact that Chris Smalling went out on loan, obviously, we have still got 6 centre backs in the team. Like I said, obviously, Darmian, left the football club. Ander Herrera left the football club on a free transfer earlier on in the summer and that. Earlier on in the summer, obviously Fellaini left after he served 6 years at Man United. He went to China back in January, and that Lukaku and Sanchez both went to Inter Milan. So in that aspect, they have reunited together. Like I said, Dean Henson went out on loan to Sheffield United. I think it's good in that aspect because it's going to gain him more experience, Dean Henson, because he's only very, very young. Joe Pereira went out on loan to Hearts for obviously for this season. But yeah, so quite a lot of players have left, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's arrival. So it's good that we did get that summer clear out that was demanding. But I still believe now as we speak, these problematic players at the football club and that. And I think Man United, we need at least 3 world class players, into our team. We need at least 3 more signings, if we're going to get back, to where we want to be. And that we need 3. Basically, we need 3 Galactico signings. Whether Man United are going to get that or not, I do not know. We have got the financial power, to meet big valuations and that, but that's not the point. We've got to be consistent in that to attract players to elite level, and that's the most essential thing indeed. But yeah, for me, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, still needs backing. It was frustrating as well that we didn't get a director of footballing, throughout the course in the summer. That was also very very frustrating, because I did say that was one of the structural changes that we do need at the football club, is recommending a new director of footballing. Obviously, don't forget, throughout the course of summer, there was quite a few former Man United players linked with a role. Ed Woodward had spoken to some of the former Man United players, throughout the course of summer about roles at the club anywhere. But yeah, I think we need a director of footballing, like I said, and I think, if we're going to get one in, I think definitely we need someone to come in who's got the experience, someone, of course, who knows the traditions of the football club and that. There was talks about Edwin van der Sar getting it the other week. I updated you on a regular basis. Ed Woodward had identified Edwin van der Sar as his number 1 priority target to become the new director of football at Man United. And Van der Sar's CEO at Ajax, he's been there. This is his 4th season now at Ajax. He's been there 3 years, but this is now his 4th season. And that, so yeah, so that you could maybe take that into account. That maybe went against in the summer transfer window, because maybe if we'd have got that director of footballing, then maybe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in that aspect, would have been backed more. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would have been backed more and that. But yeah, so in my own opinion, I think definitely the likes of Jones, Rojo, Ashley Young, Matic, I think all them 4 players, definitely, need to be moved on in January or next summer. We can cash in for Jones. We can also, cash in for Rojo. Don't forget, Jones signed a new long-term contract last season. Rojo's just got under 2 years left there when he's current deal and that. Rojo there was a lot of talks about, obviously, Rojo leaving early on in the summer because he was subject to transfer speculation. Don't forget, if you remember rightly, Everton had inquired about getting Marcus Rojo on deadline day, but he remained loyal to the football club, did Rojo and that. And like I said, he'll probably get the chance tonight. Rojo, presumably, will be playing at left back. I think it'll be Jones and Tuanzebe at the back tonight against Rochdale. Tuanzebe, like I did initially say, he's going to be a big part of the squad this season. Tuanzebe can play as a right back, but his preference is playing at centre back and that. But yeah, he's going to be a big part of the squad this season. But I'll credit Rojo. His versatility is very, very good. He can play in various positions in that back line, but actually he is primarily a centre back, I think. But yeah, and with Matic, I don't want to see him play tonight. To be quite honest with you, we know he's recently, been getting regular game time. Obviously, it's only because of the absence of Paul Pogba and that. Matic has been fulfilling Paul Pogba's role. Like I said, Matic needs to be moved on in January next summer. I'd actually rather get rid of him in January, because in that aspect we can get some money for him. Obviously next summer we wouldn't get any money for him because he comes to the end of his contract, but we do have an option to extend Matic's contract by a further year. But he's infuriated with the lack of game time he's getting anywhere, because Matic has initially lost his place in the team to Scott McTominay. But like I said, he definitely needs to be moved on. So there is still problematic players at Manchester United, as I think you were all gathered. And we got good news. Last week it was actually. 2 players, committed their long-term futures at the football club. It was good to see Lindelof, signing a new contract at Man United. 5-year deal, with an option of a further year. he's under contract now till 2024 with an option to make it until 2025. Very, very happy about that. Analysing Victor Lindelof now, I think he's done okay this season. I think, in a couple of games this season he's been a bit below par and that, but I think mainly he has been very, very consistent. Lindelof's made 75 appearances now for Man United in all competitions since his arrival from Benfica back in 2017. So Lindelof's now into his third season at Man United. I think he's flourishing at Manchester United, and I think he's blended in very, very well alongside Harry Maguire in our back line. But yeah, there's been definitely vast improvements in Victor Lindelof's game. Only 25 years of age and still got a lot of years ahead of him. And I think if Lindelof and Harry Maguire, can keep the consistency up, I think they can emulate into like Vidic and Ferdinand and that, because they were a fantastic centre-back partnership, under Alex Ferguson and that. But I said anyway, our signings that we got in the summer, if they do all keep the consistency up, then I think, their valuations, will persistently grow. And like with David De Gea, don't forget, not Monday just gone, the Monday before, he signed a new long-term contract at Man United, which was very, very good. He signed a 4-year contract with an option of a further year. Obviously now David De Gea is the highest paid goalkeeper in the world, as you all know. He's on 350 grand a week, potentially rising up to 375 grand a week. Obviously. So, well, it's from between 350 to 375,000 David De Gea is getting. So he's not only the highest paid goalkeeper in the world, he's actually the highest paid at the football club as well as De Gea. Glad he's staying at Man United though. He's very imperative. David De Gea's been here 8 years. He's now into his 9th season at Manchester United. Made around 367 appearances for the club in all competitions, something like that anywhere. He has registered over 100 clean sheets, don't forget, as De Gea. But yeah, he has been here since the Alex Ferguson era. He hasn't been great this season, wasn't good towards the back end of last season, but like I said, that was mainly to do with the contractual situation. But I'm glad anyway, that David De Gea is staying at the football club. But we give players, quite a few players new contracts that were currently in their last years of their deals. Obviously, we did it with Rashford early on in the summer. We did it with Martial back in January. We did it with Juan Mata early on in the summer. We did it with David De Gea the other week. Obviously Young signed a new 1-year extension last season. McTominay signed a new long-term contract last season. I think also Pereira did. Obviously, Phil Jones and that did. But yeah, it's good that we've actually sorted them contract renewals out. Good that we've sorted them contract renewals out and that. But yeah, we should win tonight. Like I said, I'm not going to show that we're going to win this game against Rochdale. Like I said, look what happened last season. We got knocked out of the Carabao Cup by Derby. Obviously, Derby, did I think beat us? Was it last season? 8-7 on penalties and that. But yeah, we should win tonight. Rochdale, of course, sitting in League One. I think they are sitting 17th in League One. Rochdale, they actually are our local. They are local rivals, Rochdale. I think it's there somewhere in Manchester or near Manchester. Is Rochdale. But we have, got games coming up thick and fast. Rochdale this evening, Arsenal on Monday, which is going to be a huge game for Manchester United. It's a game we have to win, basically. Then we've got, AZ Alkmaar coming up in the Europa League. Obviously, that's our second, game in the Europa League. Obviously, we know that and Partizan Belgrade are going to be much more tougher tests than FC Astana. The Alkmaar game is obviously more of an opportunity again for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to go more with the youth. Then obviously I think it's Newcastle then I think it's another international break, and then I think it's Liverpool after that, if I'm right. But yeah, I just don't think Solskjaer's going to last at Manchester United. I'm going to be quite honest with you, because this season, the results haven't been good enough. The performances haven't been up to scratch. Maybe in certain games you can pinpoint out maybe Man United should have won, but obviously we didn't. We aren't being clinical enough in front of goal. Obviously it's replicating last season. Like I said, we wasn't scoring enough goals last season. But we've only managed 8 goals so far in the league this season. That is a bad statistic, to be quite honest with you. We've actually only scored one goal in every single game nearly, prior to the game against Chelsea, on the first game of the season when we did beat Chelsea by 4 goals to 0. But yeah, but Man United, we've had great achievements, as you all know. The club's greatest achievement, obviously, was back in 1999, which is obviously over 20 years ago now. Obviously, don't forget we won 3 back-to-back titles back in 2007, 2008, and 2009. We haven't won we haven't won the league, since 2013, so we haven't won it now, for over 6 years. But for me, in the last, it's not just this summer transfer window, wasn't competitive. I don't think we've been competitive enough in the last, 4 or 5 windows, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. But, Solskjaer, is making plans for January. Ed Woodward's also making plans for January. Solskjaer, of course, wants to stick to the same policy. He wants to, still continue the pursuit of young British players, like he did, throughout the course of the summer. Like I updated you earlier on, it's reportedly said that Solskjaer's identified, 2 strikers he wants to possibly sign in January, and that's, Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona and, Juventus's Mario Mandzukic. Obviously, we're seeing them as probably replacements for Romelu Lukaku and that. And, Ousmane Dembele, we'd have to pay a substantial amount for him. We'd probably have to pay in the excess of 100 million. If you want to look at a cheaper alternative, that's obviously Mario Mandzukic, because he would be a much cheaper solution than, Ousmane Dembele. But there again, probably the club would have reservations about bringing Mandzukic in, due to his age, because he is now 33 years of age. He's had a good career, though. I'll admire him for that. But it's just his age that's, concerns Manchester United. With Ousmane Dembele, he's only 22 years of age. I think he's enjoyed a difficult time with Barcelona, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. Obviously, he's sustained quite a few injuries and that, and he hasn't replicated, what he did at Borussia Dortmund and that. Ousmane Dembele is actually, primarily a winner. Barcelona, paid around, I think around 105 million euros for him from Borussia Dortmund. But I think, they're on our, list of our January targets, Ousmane Dembele and Mario Mandzukic. So would you like either of them, to come in to the football club? But yeah, we need to see, more. We need to see more players coming in January and next summer. So in that aspect, the board do need to be more ruthless in that. Yeah. But for me, Solskjaer may be gone by January anyway if this bad run of form continues to persist. And then obviously, if a new manager comes in, obviously, he's going to have to, start the rebuilding process again. Solskjaer, is still in the process of rebuilding. He's so far brought 3 players in and that. Yeah. So, like I said, my match reaction for the Man United Rochdale game, either will be coming up after the game tonight, or it will be tomorrow morning. The review will come up if I haven't got time to do it tonight, of course. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribing as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.